technology expert? The answer is pretty clear these days. Just walk into an office and start Googling whatever the hype out there, without even considering why. And the outcome is an absolute disaster. Join me on this journey to understand the reasoning behind this disaster. Let me start by asking you 3 simple questions. Have you seen anyone make a chocolate cake with one ingredient? Have you seen an athlete win a gold medal without even working out? Have you seen any civilization become the greatest empire overnight? If you answer no to all of the questions, then the real question becomes, why are most companies fall into digital transformation trap like it will happen overnight? This is the exact reason that I'm making this video, which we will dive into some of the misconceptions of digital transformation I've seen over the years. But before we dive deep into the topic of digital transformation, let me give you a bit of overview of my background. I've started my career as an industrial engineer, and over the time my skills are evolved, which I held multiple positions from leading a machine learning to the cloud-based projects. In the first years of my career, I found myself in the middle of digital transformation. If I had to be honest, that was the biggest failure I have ever seen when it comes to any kind of transformation. Because of it, my goal is to tell you my experiences so you can have a wider perspective on digital journey and avoid some of the mistakes even the largest companies are doing over and over again. Of course, it's hard for me to talk about the digital transformation in 4-minute video, but I'm planning to have additional parts about the digital journey in the upcoming videos so you can have a greater perspective about the short and long-term strategies, how to align the talent, how to have a healthy digital journey for your company. So without further ado, let's agree on one simple idea, which is digital transformation is happening. But why do we see all the failures and issues? One big reason is most of the time it's happening in words. If you ask an organization, they will put all kinds of titles to someone and think they are digitally transformed, and they have done nothing to back it up. The second biggest reason waiting us on the top, which is some executives are just not aware of the technological challenges which the organization is facing. And oftentimes, some executives not only just don't care, but also they have a mindset of whatever brought success in the past will bring success in the future. But there is a flaw in this mindset, which is the technology itself. Unfortunately, technology is a moving target and it moves faster than any corporation can catch. Name of the organization doesn't matter. Then the question becomes, what is the best way to keep up with the technology? In order to answer this question, I believe we might need to look under the curtain where the answer is hidden, and most fail to do so. And the answer is the people. Digital transformation is not entirely about getting the fancy tech tools and the softwares, but it is really about the people that are forgotten under the curtain. What I mean by that? If I take you as someone who watched this video on one hand, and if I take an organization on the other hand, you as an individual will have a faster rate of adoption to the technology than the organization which has thousands of employees who does not see the people as the disruption of digital journey. Because in their mentality, these organizations love to say innovation is one of their 5 pillars, and they want their talent to think outside of the box. But in reality, they will make sure to put corporate shackles in order to keep their talent inside of the box. Some of the examples I've seen over the years are one fits for all mentality when it comes to the hardware, layers of bureaucracy even to get a simple thing done. Talent is overlooked because an executive became an expert by watching a 3-minute video. Optimism about the current state of the company's technological challenges. Relying on duct tape strategy to solve everything. Not giving chances to experiment, and many more. The last topic that I want to touch is the word transformation. Unfortunately, digital transformation is not a magical spinach that you can take and transform the entire business like a puppet in a matter of time. That is why you should change your mindset from transformation to your maturity. When you say digital maturity, then you can have a better understanding of where you stand and create a baseline for short-term and long-term strategic achievements. Unfortunately, digital journey is a marathon that most corporations need to run forever in order to stay on top. And I believe you need to understand some of the things like your technical foundation, which many business leaders fail to do so. I can give you another example from my own experiences. Everyone these days talks about advanced analytics, artificial intelligence. The reality is the majority is failing in these projects. Why? Because no one really asks for the foundations, the trade-offs, the architecture designs to feed these systems. If I had to summarize, focusing only the short-term gains, going with the hype, focusing on how instead of why, using the duct tape strategy will give you slim chances to make your organization successful in this digital era. But most importantly, we need to remember talent holds the key. And if you never free talent from corporate shackles, if you don't treat the talent like you treat your customer, then talent will never open the door of innovation for you. My name is Borge Sifo, and this is why you should look for the obvious instead of the fanciest for your digitalization journey.